Gentlemen, welcome back to the Tiege Hanley Starting a Business, Building a Brand vlog. This one, big number 110. So I missed something this week. Rob and Kelly took the team, Josh, Tommy, and Tom out to dinner. Something else that happened is that we had reviews and we also gave out bonuses. And for Josh and Tommy, we also went over like salary increases. Now Tom, he's pretty recent. He's going to have another review here in another few months. But the exciting thing is that we were able to give people raises and nice bonuses. And so it was funny because we sort of like, okay, so the way that it worked, Rob went out to Chicago and him and Kelly sort of had a review with each of the team members, and then they called me on Skype and we sort of talked about everything. And we sort of had an idea. Kelly had proposed, hey, this is what I think we should do in terms of bonuses for the guys. This is what I think we should do for salary increases. It's really exciting. And so we sort of talked about all the team members. Everybody's doing such an incredible job. Then we called them in individually, at least Josh and Tommy. And so Tommy came in and sat down and I was on Skype and Rob's like, do you want to be on, video Skype so you can actually see their faces? I'm like, no. I'm like, I feel uncomfortable. I feel like I don't know, it was just weird. And so we told them, or Kelly sort of said thank you and told them what their bonuses were going to be and what their raise was going to be. And then after Tommy left, then Josh came in and it was just awesome. And then after that, they met with Tom and had a talk with him, gave him his bonus, and then Rob and Kelly took the team out to a beautiful, of course, Chicago steak dinner. And they sent me pictures. I was so jealous. But it was so great. It's awesome to be able to take care of the people that really are so integral and so much of a part of Tiege Hanley that we couldn't do any of this without them. And so it was pretty awesome. But some other big things that we decided on this past call. I had a call just yesterday with Rob and Kelly. We decided on a mission statement for the business. And this is something that was a big deal. Okay, so a mission statement is basically, for those of you who don't know, actually, what's the definition? A mission statement is a formal summary of the aims and values of a company, organization, or individual. Now, here's the deal. Why is it important to have a mission statement? And the reason is because this is something that you can always fall back to. Whenever you have a question, whenever you are trying to make a decision about the business or the growth or where you're going or products or whatever, you can always come back to the mission statement. What is the goal of your business or your company? And so I told you that we've been working with this branding agency called Mint. And what Mint is helping us do is sort of develop this branding document that basically goes over all of the, sort of like what Tiege Hanley is, what we're all about, the verbiage that we use when we're working with other agencies. We sort of give them this document to say, hey, this is who Tiege Hanley is. And remember a few vlogs ago I was asking you, like, where do Tiege Hanley customers shop? What music do they listen to? And so that's the sort of thing that they sort of went through with us and are helping us develop this amazing document. It sort of helps structure and streamline who we are as a company a little bit better. And if we had this, we wouldn't have had the big issue that we had with that big expensive video that we made a mistake on. It would have sort of not possibly happened, but who knows, right? Hindsight is always 20/20. And so anyway, one of the aspects to this document is, sort of this mission statement. And so the company sort of sent us after going through all sorts of videos, going through all of our collateral, looking at ads, looking at our website, looking at our vlog, looking at everything. They're like, hey, we think this is a good example of what your mission statement could be. And so they give it to us, and they give us a few different options. And so we look at it, and it wasn't right. And so Kelly and I had a conversation. I think he spoke to Rob about it previous to speaking with me or after. But I said to Kelly, I go, I just don't like it. It just doesn't feel like Tiege. And so took the feedback and we sort of came up with one loosely while we were on the call. And he went back to Mint, the agency that's helping us with this branding, and after he spoke with Rob and said, this is kind of what we're thinking. They came back and were like, okay, not bad, but here's some other ideas. And they gave us like a list of like 20 or 30 different mission statements or variations of sort of what we were talking about. And Rob and I and Kelly still didn't feel that it wasn't like it. And so we talked about it, and it was pretty basic. What is Tiege Hanley? Drum roll, please. Helping guys feel and look amazing by providing a simplified skincare system. What? Like, it works. It works so hard, it's ridiculous. It's perfect. Don't you think? I think it works, right? We're helping guys. That's what we do. It's not, inspiring the skincare needs of every day. It's we're helping guys feel and look amazing with a simplified skincare system. Now, everything that we do, everything that Tiege Hanley is about, it comes back to that. And I love the mission so much. It just feels so Tiege. So what do you think, guys? Down in the comments, you like the mission? Because you're kind of part of it. You like the mission. It works, right? Some other things. I actually have notes because the meeting that we had yesterday was a big deal. One thing that we started talking about, Tiege Hanley, now it's the end of the year, and we have huge orders that are coming in that will be finished soon that we've already paid for. And so, one of the things, it's coming to the end of the year, and so businesses are all thinking, including like Alpha M, Pete and Pedro, what do we do with profits that are still in the business? Do we try and spend it? Do we try to buy things that will help our business so that we basically don't have to pay, taxes on it this year? And it's not like tax evasion or anything like that. It's just being smart. How do you use the money, the profits, in order to grow your business next year so that you don't have to pay taxes on it this year? And so we've paid for a bunch of stuff, a lot of things that are coming in, but we still have this money that is a profit. And so what do we do with it? And one of the things that we started talking about and discussing a little bit is, okay, do we start a 401k for our guys, including like Rob and Kelly? I personally cannot contribute or participate in a Tiege Hanley 401k plan because I've already got one for my other business and I max it out every year. And so, this is just one of the things that you got to think about in terms of when you make money at a business, how do you maximize your revenue or your profits and minimize your tax liabilities or obligations? And 401ks, it's one of those things where it helps you save for the future. It's tax deferred. You pay taxes later, all that good stuff. And so it's something that you definitely want to look into. And it's something that Tiege Hanley is looking into. But the other question is, okay, well, do we take a distribution? Do us as owners sort of take some money out? Now, the goal, the plan, everything from the beginning was just leave the money, grow the business. Well, Tiege Hanley has been, somewhat successful. And so what do you do with this profit that's left over if we don't have a plan yet as to how we're going to actually spend it to grow the business? And so these are all sort of things, it's like success problems, right? It's things that you need to think about and deal with, but like time is like it's ticking down. A few more days left of the year, and it kind of has to be decided and executed prior to the end of the month. I'm looking at the notes. We talked about everything except acne, which I'll talk about in a second, but something else that I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about yet, so I might be getting in trouble here. But Tiege Hanley is expanding. And we are like, okay, so you guys have all been with me when we've gone to Tiege Hanley headquarters, right? And it's that room, right? We actually have two rooms. There's a room right next to it that Kelly has for his sort of office. There's a conference room in there. And in the other room where we ship everything, everything's sort of stored there, we're out of space. We have, Tom, we've got Tommy, and we've got Josh that are working there. Well, we hired a controller who's starting. So there's 4 people. And Kelly, still needs an office, but we still need storage. So Tiege Hanley is actually expanding. And we're expanding upstairs in the building that we're currently at. We last time we were there, we sort of toured all these different spaces, and some of them, the one that we got, is so incredibly cool. And the plan, as of right now, is we're going to move the offices upstairs to this really cool space. Downstairs, where we currently have Tiege Hanley, we're going to use that as storage as well as shipping and distribution. And so sort of business will stay running out of that bottom section, and which I think it's only like 1,500 square feet. I think the unit upstairs that we're going to be moving into in terms of our offices is like 2,200, 2,500, something like that. But Kelly is going to be hiring an architect to help lay out the space. We're going to be, getting really cool like workstations. There are going to be like couches sitting around or setting up. There's also going to be a ping pong table, which I personally am really excited about because, interesting side note, I am the biggest ping pong fan. I actually won a tournament at the Skip Back Pool where I grew up, and I also won one at the Lock Haven Wrestling Camp back in the day. And so I am a huge ping pong fan. Apparently they have one like as we speak that I didn't even know about. And isn't that like, it's so funny when I hear about a ping pong table, because isn't that like a tech, like must have, every tech startup, every like cool company needs to have a ping pong table. Like it's just part of it. But why is it important? Why is it important that our office space, I think we're going to have like a few conference rooms up there, going to have whiteboards. It's just going to be like, it's going to be a little bit pimped out. And the reason why, you may ask, are we going to have spend this time, spend this money, sort of making it a cool space? The answer is recruitment. And why is it important to recruit well? Because when you've got these people that we're trying to recruit, and we at Tiege Hanley are trying to recruit A-level talent to take us to that next level, it's important, and your environment, your space, where you work affects how you perform because it affects your mood. If you dread going into an office, or you work in this little cubicle that has no personality, no real, you've got to be, it affects you, right? Tiege Hanley, we're a creative, cool, fresh, hip company, and so our space needs to be cool, fresh, hip, and current. And when you're trying to attract A-level talent, when they come in, and they get a tour of the office, it's like, hey, yeah, you've got this little, 2 foot by 2 foot desk and you're facing a wall. We want it to be like spectacular. The other cool thing is that, yeah, we're going to have workstations, but there are couches, there are chairs, there are areas where people can just kind of kick back and relax, and it's more sort of like a free, I don't know if there's a term for it, but it's more of like a free area where you can just work anywhere kind of thing. And then eventually we're hoping to get a space across the street from this or across the hall and move everything upstairs. But the building that we have in Chicago, it's such a cool space, and sort of this is what people do in this building is they'll get in one, it'll be small, and then they'll start expanding. And so it's very common in this area or the space that we're in to see businesses have multiple units, multiple spaces. And so we're expanding, and so that's really exciting. The other thing that I would like to address and talk about in this vlog, and the thing that we're sort of like, we might have a little problem, is the packaging for the Acne system that we voted on last week. So here's the deal. One thing that has been determined by you, because you guys voted for it was like 65% airless. All right, the Acne product is going to be in an airless sort of dispenser. And why that is so important and why it's such a good reason or a good way, it's good that you voted for that, is because it's a lot easier to measure a dosage in terms of one pump versus you're trying to get, like this much or a pea size, because that leaves a lot more open to interpretation. And with Acne, it is incredibly important that it's dosed sort of appropriately and properly, and so the Airless will allow for a single dose. And so that is decided by you. That was you, not us. The thing that is starting to become a little bit more of an issue is putting it in a white package or a white tube. So here's the deal. In terms of votes, you guys thought that the white packaging that's what you voted for, right? It won. It was like by 3%, but it won. And so here's the thing. A lot of us agree that the white package for the Tiege Hanley Acne system, it looks cool, right? It looks clean, it looks fresh, it looks all that good stuff. But some things that we have come to realize in the span in which since we started talking about it, is that there's some issues that are arising from us changing a product packaging color. The one thing that we are trying to do at Tiege Hanley is own the color black in men's skincare, right? We want, where is Upchart? I just got my new fresh shipment of Tiege is what I got. So the deal is old card. You'll be getting a new one soon. Anyway, we want to own the color black in the men's skincare. So give you an idea, right? When you think of Jack Black, right, automatically you think of that blue bottle, right? Because every product that Jack Black sells, it doesn't matter what it's for the most part, is in that blue bottle. We want to own black, right? And so this black with this green, and so what happens if you start integrating different color schemes into the sort of the product offerings, is that all of a sudden it goes from okay, well, what color is the next product? Is it blue? Is it and so thinking forward, thinking ahead, if Tiege Hanley ever wants to add, and I think we might, add additional products to the line, what do? It's you need to sort of, it makes more sense to have them consistent. And so I think we are leaning towards actually keeping and making the Acne system the same color, the sexy, super sexy black. It's something that we're dealing with, but it's something that has to be figured out quickly because we want to get this product, basically available sooner rather than later. And so for us to do this, we need to sort of place this packaging order because it takes a few weeks, months to actually get everything in terms of the packaging made and then shipped to us. And then, so time is of the essence. And so I wanted to talk to you about this and just tell you that sort of what's going on. I mean, because this is something that we threw out, hey, what do you think? And you picked the white packaging. I picked the white packaging. But when we took a step back, it's wait a second, we got to do what's right for Tiege Hanley. And so I wanted to talk to you guys about it, be upfront and honest, because that's what we do here. And you're a part of this. And so I got to put the CEO hat on. I'm not the CEO, Kelly is, but I just thought that you should know about that and know sort of the backstory of what we're thinking. And so it makes more sense as of right now, with all these variables unknown and uncertain, to make the Acne system look sexy as hell in the standard packaging that you picked, I might add. And so that's kind of that. But it is a problem. It's a problem. Well, you know why it's a problem? Because we value your opinion so much. And we put it out there, and you've been a part of this. But we also know that you are on our side and that you understand, and so it was worth a conversation. And so I think the decision, it's 98% we're going black, 2% still just because I still like the white. but these are sometimes the difficult decisions that you have to make as a business, and I guess that's kind of the takeaway. Sometimes you got to think long range and plan for success and plan for other products. Like if we have if we had a body wash, or if we had a body lotion, or if we had some other skin product, what color should the package be? Of course, black, right? Of course. And so it makes sense that we don't deviate from this black if that is the color that Tiege Hanley wants to own in terms of men's skincare. We want to own it, baby, and we're doing a good job at getting close. And so that's it. I think that's a lot. We talked about a lot today, and a lot of incredible things, a lot of important things. This is the last vlog of the year, boys. This is it. And so I just wanted to say thank you. Wrap it up here. 2017. Wow. Actually, you know what? I think next vlog, I'm going to recap 2017 in review. Next vlog, we're going to talk about some of the incredible, monumental things that have happened and go over some of the big benchmarks and the accomplishments. That's what we're going to do. This one has gone long, and so save it for next time. Guys, if you've got a question down in the comments, let us know. Next time, I will also try to answer some of the comments or questions that you guys have. And I just hope you have an incredible new year. I hope you're safe. I hope you have a fantastic holiday season. And once again, love you so much you can't even imagine. We at Tiege Hanley we appreciate you more than you can possibly know. And that's the other cool thing about all these agencies that have come on board and that have helped us and that are starting to sort of, you know, help Tiege Hanley get to that next level and grow, is they're amazed. They've never seen anything like it in terms of the engagement and the way that this communication and this transparency. I hate the word transparency because it's overused and people use it and don't actually do it. But I really feel like we are, and we're different, and the reason is because of you. So guys, thank you so much. Have a safe new year. You guys rock so hard, it is damn ridiculous, and we love you more than our double monk strap shoes. Gentlemen, here is to an amazing 2018. Cheers.